Over the last couple of years, something has hit university life that, honestly, many are calling the biggest disruption in decades: artificial intelligence. So what does this whole AI revolution actually mean for educators on the ground? Well, we dug into this fantastic report from the University at Politécnica de Madrid to figure out what's happening right now and what we all need to do next. Let's dive in.
To really get our heads around this, we have to start with this quote from Ethan Mollick. It just perfectly captures the one thing that defines this entire moment: speed. I mean, this is not a gentle curve of adoption, it's a rocket ship. Just think about that for a second. The AI you're using today is the worst it's ever going to be from here on out. And that single idea pretty much frames everything we're about to explore.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to tackle the sheer scale of this change, what the report calls an earthquake. Then we'll get practical and look at what AI really means in the classroom. After that, we'll weigh the opportunities against the very real challenges, explore a new model for the modern teacher, and finally, we'll look at, well, what comes next?
Okay, let's start with Section 1, the AI earthquake. And look, the report uses that word for a reason. AI's arrival wasn't some gradual trend that educators could just slowly adapt to over time. No, it was a sudden, seismic event that has permanently and irreversibly changed the entire landscape of teaching and learning.
What's just so striking here is how incredibly compressed this timeline is. I mean, think about it. Late 2022, ChatGPT just drops, and suddenly everyone knows about it. By 2023, it's everywhere on campus. And now we're already debating its limits while even more powerful models are right around the corner. This isn't some decade-long transformation. This is all happening in a matter of months.
So this breakneck speed has basically created two competing stories about where we're all headed. In one corner, you've got this idea of the disillusionment curve, the theory that we're hitting a wall, creating cognitive debt by outsourcing our thinking, and maybe this is all just a big AI bubble. But in the other corner, you've got this huge push towards AGI, or artificial general intelligence, which points to these incredible breakthroughs and says, no, we are on the verge of a massive leap forward.
And for every university, this is the question, right? Is this all just a bunch of hype, or is it a true revolution that demands we rethink, well, everything? To even begin to answer that, we've got to move from the abstract debate to the practical realities of the classroom.
Which brings us to Section 2, AI in the classroom. Here, we're shifting gears from that big, abstract debate to what's happening on the ground level. What can educators actually do with these tools right now?
The UPM report breaks it all down into 5 key areas. You can almost think of it as a new AI toolkit for educators. You've got tools for creating content, assessing your students, personalizing learning paths, providing assistance, and even for spotting at-risk students way earlier than before.
And hey, this isn't just theory. The university that's behind this report is already putting these ideas into practice. They're using ChatGPT in lab settings, building virtual assistants right into educational escape rooms, and creating these adaptive quiz generators. These are tangible, real-world applications that are being used right now.
Which brings us to Section 3, and really the heart of the matter for every single educator: opportunities versus challenges. This is the core dilemma that we are all facing with AI.
This whole situation presents a serious dilemma. On one side, the opportunities are just massive: better content, instant feedback for students, and a huge boost in our own productivity. But on the other side, the challenges are just as significant: plagiarism, this risk of cognitive debt, the potential for hidden biases baked into the AI, and of course, some really serious questions about data privacy. It is a very, very high-stakes balancing act.
And we really can't afford to just sit around and wait to address this. This slide shows exactly why. The data shows that student adoption of generative AI nearly doubled in a single semester. It jumped from 27% to 49%. The students are already there, so the question is no longer if AI will be used, but how we're going to guide its use.
This leads us right into Section 4, the AI-enhanced educator. The report's message here is crystal clear. The only way forward is to move from seeing AI as a threat to mastering it as a tool.
The report introduces this really powerful concept: the AI-enhanced human. And no, it's not about becoming a robot. It's about being a person who knows how to leverage AI to become way more productive and achieve better results faster. For an educator, this means using AI to create more engaging lessons, provide better feedback, and free up your time for what truly matters: that human connection with students.
You know, this quote from Andreas Schleicher of the OECD just absolutely nails it. The fear isn't that a machine is going to come take your job. The reality is that educators who embrace these tools and who integrate them thoughtfully into their work are going to become far more effective than those who just ignore them. It's really become a professional imperative to adapt.
So what does it take? Well, the report outlines a whole new set of core competencies. It's not just about knowing which buttons to click on the tools. It's about understanding the ethical questions, applying it to your own workflow, and, this is crucial, designing activities that teach students how to use AI responsibly. The ultimate goal here is to foster critical thinking about everything these tools produce.
And that brings us to our final section, what comes next. This is all about your role as an educator in shaping the future of learning in this brand new era.
This really brings us to the crucial mindset shift that's required. The report argues that the new illiteracy isn't failing to use AI. No, it's using it as an oracle, like it's some source of infallible, perfect truth, instead of as a tool that requires human skill, human judgment, and critical oversight.
And so this leaves all of us with a fundamental choice. Will we teach our students to just follow an oracle, letting them blindly accept whatever answers the AI gives them? Or will we teach them how to master a tool, empowering them to command this world-changing technology? Because the future of learning, it really truly depends on that answer.